Hello everyone. I just wanted to do a much needed update for everyone. I don't really know where to begin. So if you had Giardia, I had stomach upset maybe 4 weeks ago now. I did a video about that on the trail. We had to set up camp early. I had a bit of a stomach upset. I was kind of in fairly good spirits about it because it was my first day. And turns out after maybe about 3 weeks of that on and off stomach upsets, having to stop short, we were before that pushing out 15, 18, 20 mile days, and then I was suddenly down to 6, 10 max 4 mile days. We weren't getting the miles in. I was having to stop. My stomach was so sore. We started resting up, went to a hostel 2 weeks after that started, and I went to the doctor. Turns out I had Giardia. So I got some antibiotics from the doctor. Took, I think it was 7 to 10 days in the end off to rest my stomach, because I'd had the parasite for so long that it kind of chewed up my intestines and everything was so swollen in there. It was ridiculously sore. My stomach was so distended. I couldn't really digest food properly. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. So that ended up being about 3 weeks altogether that I was either put out of my stride or we were not really hiking at all. When I was staying and resting at the hostel, we kind of did some slack packing. So I would say that we stopped on the trail at about mile 680, and in the week that I was staying, week to 10 days that I was staying at hostels, I probably managed to, we managed to get to mile 730 through slack packing. But again, that was a real struggle. That was me forcing myself to go out there to get the miles in because I felt like I wanted to keep up and not fall behind. So then there we are at mile 730. I take another 2 days because we decided to get back on the trail properly with our packs, back out there feeling so much better, refreshed, rested. My stomach's better than ever. We hike out of Daleville, and we're going to do just a really short day for the first day. So we go to the first shelter, which is, I believe, 5 to 6 miles from Daleville. Get there pretty early to set up camp, probably about 5 o'clock, and we've had dinner. It's just turning to dusk, so we're hanging our bear bag, throwing it over the tree. They're really heavy at this point because we were going to take 5 days worth of food and go straight through to Glasgow. And we're pulling the bear bag up the tree, and something, I don't know what it was because I didn't see it. We're on a flight path here. As you can tell, I'm at a hotel at the moment. But yeah, so I didn't see it. We're hanging the bear bags. Something stings me on the foot, or bites me. I'm not entirely sure, but my educated guess would be it felt more like a sting. Very, very painful. I get bitten by mosquitoes a lot. They seem to be attracted to me. It wasn't a mosquito bite. I kind of shouted out in pain. I looked at my foot and immediately there was a welt on my foot. This was about 8:30 in the evening. So we continued hanging the bear bags up. I expected it to turn into a welt because my mosquito bites tend to turn into a welt. Wasn't too worried when I saw it welt up. Hung the bear bags, and then we got into bed about 9ish after fanning around with everything, and I took some antihistamines as well. And then we get into the shelter, and it's the sun has set and it's dark. So I'm laying in bed, and my ears, like inside of my ears, I'm itching them like crazy. They're so itchy, and I'm scratching the back of my neck. But it's very, very hot and sticky and prickly heat outside, so I didn't really think too much of it. Completely pitch black at this point, and I'm itching my hairline, I'm itching the back of my neck, my ears. I start itching my arm. I started itching underneath my armpits here. But again, I didn't really think that much of it because it's just kind of gross and itchy at the moment, very hot. And then I started getting very, very, very painful, almost like contractions up my windpipe, almost from my lungs up to my throat here, just constantly going up and down. And I was like, this is the weirdest sensation I've ever felt. And it was scaring me, it was freaking me out. I felt like I couldn't breathe properly. And I thought, I'm probably overreacting. It's probably just because I know I've been bitten by something, so I don't know, maybe it's because the mosquito bites react badly, it's making me feel a little bit nauseous. So I thought I'm probably gonna have to vomit at some point. So I got up, kind of sat outside the shelter and was trying to kind of compose myself, because I thought, okay, I'm gonna have a tactical vomit here, and I'll be feeling better after I vomit. My guy I'm with, he was like, are you okay? What's going on? Because I was just kind of like wandering around with my head torch. He comes out, and I said, yeah, I'm kind of just feeling really ill, shines it on me, and there's like these hives on my inner elbow. And then I was like, oh, I didn't realise they were there. And then I lifted up my top, and there was hives all around the side of my body, hives under here. My crotch was kind of itching, and I had hives all in my crotch. I had them appearing on my face, on the back of my neck. My neck was very swollen. I had them all here. And my breathing was getting kind of a little bit more tight and uncomfortable. I was having to swallow a lot because I felt like my throat was kind of swollen. So we were like, oh shit, this is a big situation here. So we looked on gut hooks, and we were 3 miles away from the nearest road. So we called 911 to ask them what to do. They said that they can send an ambulance to the nearest road, but they can also send someone to hike up. But it sounds like I definitely need to get to the nearest road ASAP, and if I start to get any worse, they can send someone to hike up to meet me. So we have to pack all of our bags up. At this time, it's turned to about 10:30 at night, and we're stuffing everything in our bags like manically, and getting our head torches on, getting dressed, putting my shoes on. My foot at this time, because I got bitten initially on my foot is 1.5 times its size. So I have to squeeze my foot back into my hiking shoes and hike down to the road for 3 miles in pitch black with a head torch, with my full pack on, with 5 days worth of food, and I'm freaking out, and I can barely breathe. There's hives all over me. You could actually watch them growing on my skin almost by the minute. It was absolutely terrifying. So got down. I was freaking out in my head, but when it came down to it, I was fairly surprised at how calm I was, to be honest, because I knew I had to get the hike done with. I couldn't not do the hike. I had to get there. I had to get to the road. I had no choice. So my fight or flight kind of kicked in, but I was really, really terrified, and I couldn't believe it was happening after I just had 3 days off, 3 weeks off, and that was my first day back on the trail. Yeah, so I say cut a long story short, I've already spoke for 10 minutes, but turns out whatever it was, I'm allergic to it, and I was in anaphylactic shock. So when I got to the ER, they had to give me a shot of adrenaline to stop the anaphylaxis in its tracks, or try to anyway, and my heart rate was so low. That didn't work, so about half an hour later to 45 minutes later I had to have another shot of adrenaline, loads of steroids. My foot was like 1.5 to 1 3/4 its normal size. I'm laughing now because seems a very surreal scenario, but it was absolutely terrifying experience. The adrenaline makes you shake all over, twitch uncontrollably, and I was kind of not in a complete consciousness. I was drifting in and out of wanting to be asleep and wanting to be completely bolt upright awake, and having anxiety attacks, and everything hurt all over, and oh my gosh. So that's my little update. I feel like I haven't explained it very eloquently, but currently I'm on day 5 of post-anaphylactic shock rest. I'm feeling a hell of a lot better, but the allergic symptoms do keep coming back, because I was on so many steroids at the hospital that they have to wean me off of them. So I'm reducing tablets every day, and as I'm reducing the tablets, some of the hives come back. So I did go into a fairly severe shock after, so they kept me in for 24 hours to watch me and make sure I was okay and make sure my heart rate was okay, which says to me that it's fairly serious if they're keeping you in for 24 hours. But then after they discharged me the next day, I had to go back in by ambulance again because my mouth, my lips were swollen up. Yeah, and that was 3 days ago, and now I'm feeling the best I have since it happened. I just had a couple of hives come back today, but nothing too serious. And I'm fingers crossed, hoping to get back on the trail in 2 days. So currently I am at mile 730-ish, very, very, very far behind for my visa. A third of the way through and more than halfway through my visa. I'm actually thinking of hiking to Harper's Ferry, so getting halfway, applying for a visa extension, and then instead of going south to north, I'm thinking of hiking up to the halfway point, going all the way to Katahdin and coming back down, so that gives myself more time in terms of climate. If they'll give me a visa extension, I'm not sure whether they'll do that. I mean, I seem to have a pretty good grounds for an extension, but you can never guarantee it. So I'm going to try and get the form sent off soon. But that's where I'm at, guys. The trail doth provide stress sometimes. I mean, I don't really know many people who have had anything like this go on. I kind of expected, a stress fracture or a twisted ankle or shin splints or something, but it seems like there always has to be an anomaly, and I should have expected the anomaly to be me because my luck isn't particularly great. But when we hiked in the dark, I did see a raccoon, my very first raccoon ever, and I'd wanted to see a raccoon for a while, so that was cool. I actually took a moment to even stop and look at the raccoon as it climbed up the tree and was peering around either side. So, yeah, a little update. Got any kind words? Please give them to me. I need everything I can get. I'll lap it up right now. I'll lap it up. Bye.